got bit by a snake.
C'est pas poison.
Poison? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I feel that.
C'est pas poison.
That's definitely poison.
Apparently, I'm immune to venom.
Immune to venom?
Steve.
After many months of work, planning, building, and dreaming, it was now time to cross the southern border of Mexicali into Mexico.
We're gonna make our first border crossing in just a few minutes here.
Look at that line.
Let's get back in the U.S.
Let's not come back.
It was exhilarating, to say the least, and within minutes we pulled out our Spanglish and started the border process of getting ourselves and our vehicles properly into Mexico. It was a quick victory and gave us a boost in confidence having our first border completed, especially since there was no hassle.
We're in Mexico now because there's a little gate over there. Yeah, so we just did our paperwork stuff for getting in the country with our vehicles. It's pretty smooth, actually. You know, it took a little bit of time, but they're really nice, good people. I had this idea in my head of it'd be like going to the DMV and working with people there, you know? Totally different. It was a really good experience. So now we're gonna motor into Baja, see what that holds for us.
The stark separation of countries is intriguing. Two powerful entities separated by an iron fence.
It's amazing how fast the driving conditions deteriorate in just a couple of miles. Now that we're over the border, we're into Mexicali, and things are changing. Or wait, we're in Clexico. Wait, where are we?
And on your right, we have a big tall fence that you do not cross.
Yes, that was a pair of pants stuck at the very top.
It's easy to spot the bare naked boy.
We are about to find out what's greener on this side of the hill. Food is a good place to start. We crash-landed into a mistaken seafood restaurant, thinking it to be a taco stand.
I'm getting that. So which one's the gnarliest? This one has a weird... The one that you gave to Clay.
The hot sauce war started right away. You know, the common gentleman's game of who thinks who is tougher than the other guy.
I want to get it out.
Personal experience tells me to stay out of this one. And after all, I don't think there's ever a true winner. Everyone ends up paying.
How is it? Did it burn at all?
Oh, no, it's great. Mikaki. Spicy here, spicy there.
These guys will most likely pay the price in a couple hours.
Man, that looks funny, boys. So Ty just took a bite of his meal and bird poop landed right on his hand. Wait. I have no idea what I'm eating. And I don't really like seafood.
But you're still eating it.
But it's fantastic. $35 for everybody.
$35 for everybody.
That's a lot of seafood for $35.
Yeah.
Our guts filled with questions, we pushed south, deeper into Baja to make our way to Mike's Sky Ranch, and eventually hitting our first bit of dirt with the new 4Runners. Over the radio, I asked Kyle what it felt like to now be on expedition and exploring a remote, unknown road in Mexico.
You hike, you get to the top of this mountain, and it's super epic.
and you're gonna pick a challenging line with a couple cliff drops, and you just got a fresh 12 inches of powder, and then you like lock in and everything, you get ready and you just hit it. This is what that feels like. It's like super exciting, but you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But then after you do it, you're like, oh my gosh.
Some 20 miles or so into the high desert, we arrived at Mike's Sky Ranch. Upon arrival, we found out we had a suspension issue.
What's going on?
Shock bolt. Busted shock. Well, it's a shock bolt that's missing. Yeah, shock bolt. Nothing to go. Yeah, I doubt it broke either. I bet it just wobbled out. That's not going anywhere right now. Okay. All right, well, let's see if we can go find Mr. Ted Moncure. Yeah. This is awesome. Right on.
All these fools. Oh, look at that buggy. Yes.
Oh, step here, go find Ted.
I've heard a lot about Mike's Sky Ranch over the last few years, and being here seemed to check off a special box. Especially for the reasons to our visit. To meet up with TRD's lead design engineer and our friend, Ted Moncure.
Hey, Ted, Kurt. Hey, how you doing, Kurt? Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ted. Nice to meet you.
And this is Toby.
Hey, Toby, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Not too shabby, man.
We met Ted last summer at FJ Summit in Ouray, Colorado. There, we were able to spend a little time with the TRD team as they put some prototype TRD Pro 4Runners through their paces. We discussed our plans for the next day and then settled in.
There's the infamous San Felipe 40 miles of whoops.
Okay.
But, I mean, they're like this deep. You get seasick because you're on them for 40 miles. Get the flavor of San Felipe, because when we tell people you went to San Felipe, they're all going to go, oh, did you go through the 40 miles of whoops? You can say, well, I did the whoops from zero to the dump.
Okay.
But I didn't want to, I felt like that was enough for a lifetime.
I needed to save my shocks for Panama and back.
You don't want to break it on day one.
Yeah. Except for Kurt, he already broke it on day one.
Bottom shock bolt.
Yeah. I got you.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah, you're out. Yeah, so Mike is the owner in there. Okay. In the bar. He's Mike Jr. So the cool thing is, you see the door of the old race car over here?
I did see
That's a VW Bug that his dad raced in one of the early Baja 1000s. So this place was a hunter's club. It was not about dirt biking or off-roading or anything. It was just about hunting, and then his dad raced in Baja, and then over the years, you know, less hunters started coming and more dirt bikers and off-roaders, and so that's how it became famous.
This place is a gym.
Reminds me of chicken a little.
It's a little like chicken. It does. A little bit.
Yeah.
Chicken Alaska. Is there underwear on the ceiling?
No. I saw a pair of panties in there somewhere.
Oh.
Outside, we gave Ted the tour of the newly built rigs.
Yeah, happy about that.
Platinums
Yeah, it
in
looks
there.
so nice. Oh yeah, I got the light bar back there behind the grill.
Yeah, it's got a 40. We were just commenting down, going through here, that just all the lights and the new technology that's out there, and how this just has changed our world.
Advice and wisdom started to flow right away from this Baja winning racer.
Actually, with good light, it's better to drive at night than it is during the day.
Yeah.
Because it gives you this tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Everything that's not important is now black. You just focus on what's important. You can see it all really well, and then you don't worry about what's not important.
Right.
Like all that beautiful scenery that you're missing.
Yeah, that's
you
not
know?
important.
Well, you see it during the daytime.
Right.
So during the daytime, you look at the scenery. Nighttime, you go fast. You guys have done a great job on these things. Look really cool.
The following morning at breakfast, we realized that two Baja 1000 rivals were sitting at the same table. Kurt and the Kangaroo Racing team had competed toe-to-toe against Ted and the Toyota Tundra team in their Land Cruiser 200 series.
Cinderella story is Land Cruiser guys out of Utah keeping the pressure on us the whole way. So we never could get comfortable and just take it easy.
3, 2, 1, it's you, Mark. And you know the wash. You gonna put the locker on? You got locker Thanks, bro.
Kangaroo Racing was definitely the underdog, but their grit and strong nerves held Toyota's racing team to the fire. Staying only 30-some minutes behind almost the whole race.
Ivan Stewart always said, you know what it feels like when tires come off the ground? I go, yeah. You know what it feels like when you bottom out? Yeah. Don't do that. If you don't do those two things, you'll probably finish the race. But seriously, it's like you have 11 inches.
One thing that definitely bonds these two together, though, is their love for Toyotas.
And a testament to the toughness of Toyotas. You know, out of everybody out there, the two Toyotas are the only ones left standing.
That's right.
Vehicle advice flooded our conversation, and all that talk made us anxious to get going. But first, we had to fix the missing shock bolt on the Tacoma.
We're gonna find what we're looking for because this has got about one of everything.
So this will work worst case.
Winner. That's great. And then washer?
Winner, chicken
With
dinner.
one more big washer, we're in business.
Hey, can I see that bolt real quick? I'm gonna test it in the hole. There you go, push it through. Beautiful.
That'd get to Panama.
There you go.
If you had to.
That's right.
Look at that. Ted, is that how you guys engineer?
That's basically how it is at Toyota on the
Painted to
highway.
fit, painted to match.
That's right. We all sit around and we get our parts and we go, somebody dig through that bucket of bolts over there so you find what works.
With our temporary fix secured, we head into town to find a more permanent solution. But first, we all thought it was a good idea to eat again.
So yesterday we failed pretty miserably at trying to get Mexican tacos, because it ended up being a seafood joint and there were no tacos to be found. But today, with Ted at our side, we apparently have stumbled on the best taco stand in Norte, Baja. With a fantastic lunch between us, Ted and I discussed what it must be like to be an engineer for one of the world's finest auto manufacturers.
I lead a team of guys that are all motivated and passionate about performance and about trucks, and about making the best truck for people who want to go out there. Plenty of people who tell you who don't understand why we go to the lengths we go to in developing things, and they always love to quote the stat that 90% of our people never go off-road. And I go, yeah, but 10% of our customers do go off-road.
Sure.
But if you design it for the 90% that never go off-road, then the 10% are left stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Right. It's been really cool to personally see behind that big corporate veil and find out what you always hope for, that there are incredibly passionate people that believe in what they are doing behind the products that you love. Case in point, Ted took personal vacation time to meet us down here and talk shop.
There you go. Now everybody who comes here knows that this taco stand has the TRD Pro seal of approval.
No. He's Santa Claus. Hold on. You gotta
Smile
get over here.
Hold me. I'm videoing it.
Hold me.
Oh, my hernia.
With Toby's Christmas list delivered, it was time to hit some of the Baja 1000 race course. But first, we needed to get more of a permanent fix on the Tacoma.
We got rid of our Mike Sky Ranch fix, which was a combination of odds and ends, nuts and bolts. And we put some proper hardware on there from a great hardware store here in Valley de Trinidad. So we're back in business. We're 100%. And some spares for the road.
Now on the course, Ted wanted to teach us a thing or two about our vehicles and instruct us on driving techniques.
I don't want to get fired because I came down on my vacation to Baja to hang out with you guys and said the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. This is Baja 1000 race course that we run every year, so it's a little bit whooped out. Just basically remember to have a good time, but don't use up all your wheel travel. So if you feel the car bottoming out, slow down. Sometimes you can, if you're going a little bit too slow though, you get too much body movement, you can actually give it a little more throttle, and you'll find kind of a sweet spot where you're in the vehicle's natural frequency is being damped the best by your suspension. So just kind of play around 2 or 3 miles an hour on either side of the speed you like until you find the sweet spot.
And the KDSS system.
So KDSS will actually push your tires down more on the high speed stuff on the pavement. It'll prevent body roll, which will allow the vehicle to kind of be more confident going through windy corners. So over this kind of terrain, we're probably moving fast enough that we won't be engaging KDSS, but if we do, what it's doing is helping you to keep all your tires on the ground, to keep traction and to keep the vehicle body level.
All right, guys, rolling.
So when you hit a bump, you don't want it to be multiple events. You don't want to feel the bump and then feel the car dipping and moving up and down.
Yeah.
That means you're under damped. And then if you're over damped, it gets jarring. Your filling's being rattled.
Yeah.
So you want the appropriate amount of dampening. And then be looking behind it. The other thing you should do when you go through loops like that, just dab the left foot slightly, and what that does is on the far side of the loop, it'll bind everything up a little bit, and it'll prevent that weight transfer that's causing your vehicle to pitch back and forth.
I had a Volvo 244DL 1979 in mustard yellow. And I had an issue where if I didn't ride the gas, it would die on me. So I had to do right foot gas, left foot brake for like 2 years. That set me up for victory now, because now I have the gas brake thing pretty dialed. I mean, now we're on part of the Baja 1000 road. Amazing to have the ability to flutter between your gas and brake without sloppy footwork.
The Baja is living up to its reputation. We are having a fantastic time.
Especially in shorter wheelbase vehicles like FJs, 4Runners, Jeeps, that's where it really helps the most. Longer wheelbase stuff, you don't have as much weight transfer. You've got more mass moment of inertia, preventing the vehicle from pitching up and down.
Okay.
All you're trying to do is change the relative velocity a little bit, not trying to stop the car or slow it down.
Okay.
So just practice with it and you'll get the hang of it real quick.
It was somewhere around mile 50 that we all realized that this year's winning Baja 1000 driver and engineer of TRD was sitting here, giving advice to us on the actual Baja 1000 course. We needed to pinch ourselves to make sure this was all really happening.
Honestly, it's a pretty cool honor to be able to have him teach you, and he picks up exactly what you're doing and say, hey, try this, and it automatically it develops it right into what you're doing, and you're like, wow, that actually does work. So
Reaching the coast, we aired down the generals and hit the beach for some fun in the sand. Over the radio, we hear of the first stuck of the trip.
I don't know. We'll see.
What happened? Dude, he does not want to go in the sand.
The Tacoma was sunk under its own weight in the sand.
It's on, dude.
It was done. She
So
sunk.
he just dug in for the night.
Yeah, dug in.
We're here.
We'll just camp right there.
We know where we're staying tonight now, huh?
Our tent's going to be a little lower tonight.
Yeah.
Big roast, yeah.
We quickly deployed Max Trax and remedied the situation.
This is where that shovel we don't have would be nice. Yeah.
We are currently headed into San Felipe right now. We are gonna head into town here, maybe look at getting some dinner, and then heading just outside, just south of town to go find a camping spot on the beach tonight. So the first camp night on the beach. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer than last night, because last night we all froze.
San Felipe was alive and full of life. The culture of Baja was all around us. Street music, vendors, all filled the atmosphere as the locals enjoyed the last of the day's sun. Jeff and Ty found themselves holding on to some street guy's high-voltage jolt lines.
Jump the flex.
The anticipation is killer.
Crank that! Crank it!
Come on! Come on!
Okay.
Hold on tight. This is a heavily regulated industry.
Yeah. Move it.
Yeah, dance it out.
You're gonna talk. You are. You're next.
Okay, let's do this.
Toby wished to express that he was king of the world as we sat down for fish tacos at this lovely gentleman's restaurant. Actually, we all felt like kings after the kind of day we had. We pulled the last bit of precious knowledge from Ted and his vast experience in Baja on where to camp next.
On the beach somewhere, that'll just be a
Or
total
if
free
you
reign.
want to, yeah, it depends if you want to camp here, you're going to be pretty remote, which may be what you're looking for. But if you push it to San Juanito,
Okay, here we are. 20 minutes later.
Then Ted and Kurt proceeded to make all of our brains hurt with the amount of race technical shop talk casually bantered between two engineers.
A catback system, but
Yep, catback.
TRD stuff.
Yep, Nickelback systems are awesome.
On a global scale, it makes no sense.
Toby coped in the only way he knew how.
That's interesting.
More Nickelbacks.
Well, all good things must eventually come to an end. It was time to say goodbye to Ted as he returned home, back to the U.S. It was an incredible life experience for all of us. As we headed to our trucks, we found another issue with the Tacoma.
We did something in here, and hose got resituated, and it was bumping on the belt. And probably through the Bajaing and stuff today, and especially here in the sand, it just rubbed a hole in the power steering line. I started to smell something sweet and smoky, and bless you, cameraman.
Bless you. And the rest of the story's right there.
Yeah, the rest of it.
The massacre is right there. The rest of the massacre.
Yeah, that tells us.
No, it's pretty. It didn't do any damage. It's an easy fix. We get a hose tomorrow in town, and if we can't find a hose, we could even use a socket or a little piece of pipe. And we got hose clamps. We bought hose clamps. We could tape it. It's a return line, so it's not high pressure.
Right.
So everything's still sweet and smoky.
Yeah, it's gonna smoke till
With a
tomorrow.
plan in place on how to fix the power steering, some unexpected news came over the
So we
airwaves.
just got a call from Ted, and Ted has hooked us up with Ivan Stewart, who happens to be staying at his house about 30 miles south of San Felipe. So we're gonna get to meet the Ivan Stewart, hang out, talk Toyotas.
Play video games.
Play video games. Who knows? This guy has soloed the Baja 1000. He has driven Toyotas in many, many races, stadium truck racing. He's done it all. So this guy is
We couldn't wait to get going the next day. Little did we know that tomorrow was going to be a day that some of us would just rather forget.
Tried to find you, but I can't see the sun. Faceless